The phone call came just after 8 in the morning. "Can you stop by the old house today?" Joan asked. "No hello, no explanation. There's something I left in the linen closet." Dear viewers, welcome to our channel. Subscribe to receive more stories every day. Emma frowned. "You still have a spare key?" "I don't like going there alone." "You've got the one I gave you. It's time you used it." Before Emma could respond, the line went dead. Classic Joan. Emma stood by the sink, unsettled. For months she'd tried to smooth over the distance between her husband and his mother. But today, there'd been something rehearsed in Joan's voice. Something deliberate. She texted Adam. "Your mom wants me to check the childhood house. Linen closet." Pause then. "In a meeting." "It's fine. Just towels. Just towels." She doubted it. The brass key felt heavier than it should when she pulled it from the junk drawer. By the time she reached the house, a weathered blue two-story at the end of a quiet street, her stomach was tight. The porch swing creaked once as she stepped inside. The air smelled of dust and lemon oil. Family photos lined the hall. Adam with missing teeth, Adam in a baseball uniform, Adam graduating high school. None of them included her. "Linen closet," she muttered, forcing herself forward. The shelves inside sagged with neatly folded towels sealed in plastic. Nothing unusual, until she spotted a velvet pouch tucked in the back. Inside was an older, thinner key and a note. "For Emma. If you're reading this, you're already in the house. Do what Adam never had the courage to do. Open the door under the stairs." Her throat went dry. She turned toward the narrow door she'd passed twice without noticing. The key slid in. The lock groaned, then opened. Cool air brushed her face as she descended the wooden steps. Her phone flashlight caught a basement too organized to be forgotten. Boxes labeled in Joan's handwriting, a table stacked with notebooks, a metal cabinet. On the wall, photographs arranged in rows. She stepped closer. At first, they were harmless childhood pictures. Birthdays, school plays, summer lakes. Then the images grew more recent. Adam as a teenager, then in his early 20s. And in one picture, clear, undeniable, he held a toddler on his hip. A single letter scrawled at the bottom, L. Emma's breath caught. She turned to the notebooks. The early ones were filled with boyish handwriting. But a later entry froze her. "June 17th, she said secrets keep us safe. She said it's better if some things don't make it upstairs. I said I feel split in half. She said families are messy." Her pulse quickened. "What secrets?" In the cabinet, folders were sorted by year. Receipts, letters, a hospital discharge paper, a tiny shoe in a sleeve. She forced the folder closed, her hands trembling. Her phone buzzed. A text from Adam. "Oh good." She typed back. "Found some old stuff. Did you know about this storage room?" His reply came quickly. "Be home late. We'll talk." No questions. No surprise. Just avoidance. Emma lifted a keepsake box from the shelf. Inside lay a locket. On one side, Adam as a child. On the other, the same toddler from the photo wall, smiling wide. Behind the photo was a slip of paper. L.R. Adam's last name. Her chest tightened. She set it down and reached for another folder. Inside was a letter on expensive paper. She scanned to the signature J. Not Joan. Someone else. The first line burned in her mind. "Dear Adam, I can't keep asking you to pretend she doesn't exist." Emma's hand shook as she lowered the letter. She glanced at the photo wall again. A space stood empty, tape curling where a picture had been removed. Her phone buzzed once more, this time from an unknown number. "Joan gave you the key, call me. We need to talk about L." Emma stared until her reflection blurred in the screen. Upstairs, sunlight filtered through clean windows. Down here, truth waited in rows of notebooks, photographs, and files no one had dared to bring into the light. She pressed her palm to the next journal and made herself a silent vow. No more polite bridges. No more looking away. She turned the page. Emma sat at the basement table, her phone face down beside the journals. The silence pressed in heavy, broken only by the faint tick of pipes. She opened the next notebook, pages filled with Adam's cramped, careful handwriting. March 12th. She says I should come here when I can't breathe upstairs. She says one day it'll make sense. Emma frowned. Who is she? Joan? Or someone else? The entries grew darker as the years went on. Flashes of anger, guilt, and longing. Then, midway through, a name appeared for the first time. April 5th. Elle laughed so hard today she spilled juice on my shirt. I wanted to keep the shirt forever. She makes the world feel like it's worth staying in. Emma's breath caught. Not just a letter. Person. Child. Her hands trembled as she turned the page. Photographs slipped out from between the sheets. Polaroids of Adam with a toddler girl, her hair in messy curls, clinging to his arm. The dates were scrawled in the margins. 2008. 2009. Emma's wedding year was 2010. Her pulse hammered as she shoved the photos back inside. The air felt thick, damp, impossible to swallow. Upstairs, a floorboard creaked. Emma froze. Phone flashlight swinging wildly across the walls. She whispered Adam's name, but no reply came. Just the groan of the old house. She hurried back to the cabinet and pulled another folder. 2010. Inside, a child's school registration form. The name blurred in her vision. Lily R. Lily. Adam's child. Emma staggered back, clutching the folder. The weight of betrayal pressed down hard. Not just an affair. Not just a lie. A living, breathing daughter. Concealed, hidden in this basement shrine. Her phone vibrated again. Another message from the unknown number. She deserves to know. Call me before Adam comes home. Her heart pounded. Who was this? A friend of Adam's. The girl's mother. She shoved the folder back and rushed up the basement stairs, slamming the door shut. Her hands shook as she locked it behind her. The house above felt different now. Hostile, as if every wall had been listening. Emma sat in the living room, forcing herself to breathe. She dialed the number. After 3 rings, a woman's voice answered, low and steady. Is this Emma? Yes. Who are you? Oz. My name is Julia. I'm Lily's mother. Emma gripped the phone tighter. Why are you contacting me now? 'Cause Joan gave you the key. She promised she would when the time came. She said you deserved the truth. Emma's pulse quickened. What truth? That Adam has a daughter he's never acknowledged. That I kept quiet all these years because Joan insisted it was for the best. But Lily's 13 now, and she's asking questions. She deserves answers. Emma's mind reeled. 15. That meant Adam had been hiding this since before their wedding. Since before vows and promises. Her voice cracked. Why would Joan? Why would she give me the key if she was part of this lie? Because she's tired, Julia said softly. She protected him for years, but she always knew it couldn't last. She told me once, you'd be the one strong enough to face it. Emma's knees buckled. She sank into the plastic-covered couch, her breath coming shallow. Emma! Julia's voice pressed on, urgent now. You need to talk to Adam before he buries this deeper. He'll deny it. He always does. But you've seen the basement. You've seen Lily's face. Emma closed her eyes. The images burned behind her lids. The locket, the photographs, the tiny shoe. Proof upon proof. Where is she? Emma whispered. Close. Too close. But you can't meet her yet. Not until you decide what you'll do with the truth. The line went silent. Emma lowered the phone, hands trembling. Somewhere outside, a car door slammed. She rushed to the window and saw Adam's car pull into the driveway, earlier than he'd said. Panic surged. She shoved the journals back into the pouch, tossed the velvet bag into her purse, and slipped toward the kitchen just as the front door opened. "Emma!" Adam's voice was calm, casual. "What are you doing here?" She turned slowly, forcing her face neutral. "Your mom asked me to grab something." He studied her, eyes too sharp, too aware. "Did you go downstairs?" Her pulse stuttered. "Downstairs? The basement?" His jaw tightened. "You didn't open that door, did you?" Emma's silence was answer enough. Adam's face hardened, and for the first time in years, she saw a man she didn't recognize standing in her husband's place. Adam's shoes clicked against the hallway floor as he faced Emma. His voice came sharp, almost too calm. "You opened it." Emma's pulse thudded. "Yes, I saw the pictures. I know about Lily." The silence after her words was suffocating. Adam's lips parted, then shut again. He looked less like a husband and more like a man cornered by ghosts. "It's not what you think," he muttered. "It's exactly what I think," Emma snapped, her hands trembling but her voice steady. She lifted her phone, showing him the messages. "Julia called me. She told me everything." Adam paled. "She had no right." "You had no right," Emma cut in, "to bury a daughter in a basement of lies while building a marriage upstairs." A knock thundered at the door. Both of them froze. Joan's voice carried through the wood. "Open it, Adam." When he obeyed, Joan swept inside with a folder pressed to her chest. Her eyes landed first on Emma, then on her son. "Oh, she finally knows." "You planned this," Adam accused. "I protected you for 13 years, Joan shot back. But protection and rot look the same after a while. "It's time." She sat on the plastic-covered couch and spread 3 documents across the table. A paternity test, a will amendment, and a trust deed. Emma's throat closed as Joan spoke. "The test proves what you deny. The amendment strips you of inheritance if you refuse to acknowledge Lily. And the deed," she turned to Emma, "the deed places this house in trust for Lily. You, Emma, are named trustee." Adam's face twisted. "You gave her my house." "No," Joan said. "I gave Lily her birthright. You forfeited the house the moment you refused to bring her upstairs." Before Adam could respond, another knock rattled the air. Julia stepped inside, clutching her coat. Her eyes went straight to Emma. "Did you see the locket?" Emma nodded slowly. "It was hers all along." Julia's shoulders eased, but her eyes glistened. "Lily deserves to hear the truth from him. Not from a mother covering for him. Not from a grandmother making excuses. From him." Adam's jaw clenched. "She doesn't need me. She has you." "She needs her father's honesty," Julia said. "Not his absence." The room thickened with silence. The grandfather clock loomed, its frozen hands still stuck at 11:44. Emma looked at it and suddenly understood. Time had been stopped in this house since the first lie was told. Emma squared her shoulders. "This ends today. You will tell her. You will sign the acknowledgement. And then we decide if our marriage has anything left to stand on." Adam looked at her, searching for softness. He found none. Finally, with a trembling hand, he signed Julia's prepared paper. Ink glistened black against white. Adam R. acknowledging his daughter. Julia pressed the paper flat with both palms, tears sliding freely now. "Do you hear that?" she whispered. "It's 13 years of silence breaking." Joan's gaze softened. "Bring her," she said. An hour later they met at the park. The sun tilted low, throwing gold across the swings. Lily sat on a bench, stiff and uncertain, a locket chain twined nervously in her fingers. Adam approached slowly, hands out, like a man crossing into holy ground. He knelt in front of her. "Hi, Lily." His voice cracked. "I'm your dad." The girl's lips trembled. Why didn't you ever come? Adam swallowed hard. Because I was a coward. 'Cause I lied. But I'm here now, and if you'll let me, I want to stay. The silence stretched. Then Lily leaned forward and hugged him, brief but real, and Emma felt the air shift, like a storm finally breaking. Julia's hand found her daughter's shoulder. Joan wiped her eyes without shame. Emma stood a little apart, her chest tight with a mix of grief and relief. When Lily opened the locket, the old photo gleamed. I want a new picture in here, she said. One with everyone. No basement. Just sky. Emma's throat ached. Sky it is. That evening, Emma returned to the house alone. The grandfather clock loomed in the hallway. She wound it gently. The gears stirred. Then the hands moved past 11:44. For the first time in years, the house ticked forward. She hung the new photo. Lily smiling, Adam raw but present, Julia's arm steady, Joan soft-eyed and Emma half in frame. A family not perfect, not whole, but finally upstairs, no longer hidden. Emma touched the frame. No more secrets, she whispered. The clock chimed once, deep and certain, as if the house itself agreed. Dear viewers, thank you for watching. If you like this story, please subscribe to our channel to receive more stories every day. Share with us what you think of this story and tell us where you're watching from.